Started. All right. Hello and welcome, Trojans. I hope the spring semester is treating everyone well. We're delighted to have you join us today for Interact with Alums through the Trojan Network. My name is Lauren Opgenorth, and my pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm the Associate Director of Internships and Experiential Education at the USC Career Center. Also, I'm delighted that my colleague Malika Samtani is here. She is our Internship and Diversity Programs Advisor. We make up the team of two in the Career Center overseeing all internships, scholarships, mentorships, all the ships, as I like to say. And so we're going to take you on this journey, specifically on the Trojan Network. The way that today's session is going to work is we're going to go through a very brief PowerPoint. And then I think some of the real great content that you're going to see is diving directly into this platform, being able to navigate it, gain some key strategies of how to make the most of your time here. Since we know that you are at least recognizing that networking is very important, and the sooner you start this process, the more habitual it's going to become. So with that, what I'm going to do is go ahead and share my screen. I'm hoping that there will not be any sort of technical difficulties. So, all right. So starting off first, we really want to kind of break down networking. And we broke it down into Networking 101 because sometimes networking does have that stigma of, am I asking for something? Am I, going to put someone in an awkward position, what that might look like? That's not what networking is at all. Really think about its true purpose. It's to try to connect or maybe even reconnect. I know in this virtual space, it seems a little bit different, but the idea behind it is you want to try to see what information someone might have, where are you able to meet others, learn a little bit about the field, and it's something that we are always trying to encourage. Now, sometimes people feel like, oh, well, for networking, I need to speak with the top person at a particular organization. It's not that either. It could be your peers that are in your class. It could be a roommate. It could be family friend, and certainly do make use of those professors. I do teach an internship course, and I am constantly trying to say, you should, even though as a part of the requirement for the course is they have to go out and network, this is something that you should do beyond just a class assignment. And the sooner that you start doing that, then you're going to realize all these doors are opening up, these opportunities are going to be coming your way, and it's certainly going to open up that field. So something we really want to encourage you to do. So what you'll notice then also when you think about that purpose, it's not just, making that connection, but it's developing that rapport. You want to make sure that there's a foundation in place so that you can really dive a little bit deeper into these conversations. A lot of times you hear, oh, well, I only hit the surface, or it was very shallow. There wasn't, a lot of great content that was coming from that. We really want you to, establish yourself. And with networking, it really should be a dialogue of back and forth. It's not just, what questions that you have, but then what are they able to share and have it go back and forth. If it feels more like a monologue, you're not doing it properly. And we can certainly give you some tips with how to, prepare that. And even in the Trojan Network, there is several different templates to help you with that. Because I know sometimes it's one thing to find these people, but then what do you say? We'll help you with that, certainly. But we really want to help get you to that. Everyone always talks about, the benefits of networking, and we wanted to try to break it down to really kind of show you the breadth and depth of what this does look like. When we see it, we really think this is the opportunity for you to gain advice from someone who has, walked in your footsteps, has been a USC student before, but they're not going to share about their potential industry. You're all enrolled in classes and gaining, the book sense of what the field is like. But wouldn't it be great to learn from someone who's doing it day to day, from someone who's, maybe they've worked in the field during this pandemic. They've seen several different experiences. They've seen kind of the twists and turns and what things are going to be looking like. Maybe someone who's even been able to work their way up within those ranks. You really want to think about, that additional value that you're going to gain from someone who's already living it. So we've got that. Also, we really want you to gain a little bit more insight into the potential field. So again, you can certainly read about it and there's plenty on social media, but you want to gain a little bit better perspective and try to think about, okay, well, this is what they're experiencing currently, but it's not just for the here and now you're planning for. As you're in school, you still have maybe 1, 2, 3, however many years before you graduate, but you want to know, what does that look like, in the future? What are some of the trends or what are the things that you can do to prepare what are some of the different, let's say, either technology or skills that you can really work on and try to really strengthen during your time in school? Because there's so many resources at USC, and whether you're learning them in a class or through some sort of online portal, try to learn that now while you have that free time. And I say free time, I know sometimes as a student, you might not think there's a lot of it, but maybe it's something that you can incorporate with any of your other projects or things that you're already doing on an ongoing basis. I would say that in our role at the Career Center, we are constantly reminding students to expand that network. You could always think about it. I think, a lot of times you underestimate the value of even your peers. Your peers have had several internships, they've had on campus positions, they've maybe done, unique situations. Really tap into that resource because a lot of times, if you become familiar with this process with your peers, it's going to be much more routine with that alum, with someone who's got, the backing of a particular organization, or maybe someone that could be making those hiring decisions. And I know you might be thinking, yes, but I like doing the firm handshake and face to face. Guess what? Ever since 2020, everything has changed. We've now been able to utilize things like Zoom and Microsoft Teams, Slack. There's all these different technologies. And I feel like it almost makes it easier for people to connect because rather than worrying about sitting through Los Angeles traffic and the commute times, and okay, well, it says it's going to take me 45 minutes, but it might take you longer. All you have to do is jump on a Zoom call, arrange it, and then you're able to have this true face-to-face interaction. It's definitely, if anything, I say it's going to give you that better chance to connect with more individuals and really dive deep into that. Really think about creating those opportunities for yourself because it's something that's really worthwhile. Also, we always talk about those informational interviews. And usually, when you hear that term interview, you think, oh my goodness, I'm applying for a position. Maybe I'm applying for that campus job through my work study program, or it's an internship for the summer, or even full time jobs as you get closer to graduation. Informational interviews are exactly what they are. You are seeking information from that source. You're not asking for particular jobs. You just want to know a little bit more about maybe their career path. What does their workday look like? One of my favorite questions students ask are, can you tell me about a typical day? There's really no such thing as a typical day because there are so many twists and turns. And yes, Outlook might tell me, what I'm supposed to do between 8 and 5, but there's emails coming in and text messages and calls, and you just never know what to anticipate. And I think it's good to know that because over the last 10 plus months, we've really all had to adapt and shift and be flexible. And I think that when you hear it directly from the source of someone that you look up to, and you might want to, model your career to look like, it's really great to hear it from them. So you have something to anticipate. And everyone's, living in this virtual or hybrid space right now, depending upon where you are. But it's just something that why not get that information? Also, with these informational interviews, think about the questions that you want to try to ask that you would never ask in an interview. For instance, maybe you want to know a little bit more about what's the most enjoyable part of the job, or what skills do you feel like are important. By the time you get to the interview, you're going to have those skills shine. You're going to be able to talk about the different things you've been able to do with your particular skill set. But in this informational interview, it's more about, what are the rewards from the job? What are some of the challenges? What are some of these other things? Some of these you would ask in a particular job interview, but for these informational interviews, they're a little bit more open-ended. And you don't have to put, your guard up or have to wear that professional hat. So really take advantage of that. It definitely will help make you prepared for future job and internship recruiting interviews and really help you out. And most importantly, we really want to give you this access to this alumni mentorship opportunity. There are a lot of different informal mentorships that are happening through the platform. And that's great. That's wonderful. These informal connections allow you to reach out to really as many different individuals as you might want to. Don't reach out to too many because you want to make sure you're making the most of each of these connections. But certainly if you're reaching out between, like let's say 3 to 5 per month, that's still a lot. That's like at least one a week. But there are a handful of some formal mentorship programs. And I'll show you one that Malika is managing specifically for our first generation population. But what it's really great is that it puts you in touch with an entire community. So we're talking about dozens of individuals that really want to see you succeed and they're going to help walk you through a number of different tasks or goals that you hope to accomplish over the next 6 to 8 months or so. And this is something where, they know your background, they know what your interests are, and they want to try to help to get you from point A to point B and whatever that may be. So these mentors are not only going to give you better perspective, they're going to give you some suggestions for maybe overcoming your own weaknesses, but ultimately they just want to see that you're doing well and that, you're here as a Trojan and you're going to continue to walk through that path. So, to accomplish this networking, there are a couple platforms that we really want to recognize. Certainly, there's USC's virtual Trojan Network. On this platform, we're really excited to see we've, had it for not as long as something like LinkedIn, but it is very, very intentional to help the students with where they're at. And I'll certainly dive into it a little bit more. But we also do recognize the strength of something like LinkedIn. With over 425,000 alums and nearly 300,000 of them on LinkedIn, it's a great resource, by volume. It's a great way to join different groups, to follow organizations, really make use of both of them. Just know that they are very, very different. But we do really support both and would encourage you to take advantage of all those resources. All right. So now that you know what networking is and all the benefits and why you want to dive in and make the most of all that you've got available, let's show you how to access it. Everything goes back to our Career Center website. So if you go to careers.usc.edu, you're going to see the homepage. Particularly, what you're going to notice is that there is a student tab, and the first tab under it is going to be the Trojans to Trojans initiative. So we're constantly seeing alums want to give back. They want to be able to provide some career and industry insight. We hear from so many individuals that they say, you know what, it was because of so-and-so that I've been able to get where I am today. And they just want to pay it forward. So we're really excited to see that they want to make these connections, and it's literally happening in live time, 24/7, all over the world. So they're not kidding when they say Trojans are lifelong and worldwide. So definitely think about that. So once you go to that page, you'll click down here at the Trojan Network piece, and then you will have this next screen pop up. Make sure you select the Join the Trojan Network. And of course, if you're going through this process with us, great. I'm going to give you step-by-steps before we launch directly into it. Next up, this is where you're going to see the student login page. I know several of you might want to quickly jump to LinkedIn or Facebook because you have all those detailed listed there. However, I would highly recommend that you select the USC Net ID for students, because this is going to automatically pull your student data. So think of all those times you've had to input your student ID, your school, your major, all of that. By clicking the cardinal Students tab, this is going to directly input all that information into the platform, meaning less work for you. So once you do that, you'll have to sign in with your USC credentials, just like you do for most of these other pieces. And once you have done that, we will then get you to building your profile. Now, this is something that students will sometimes rush through, and I say, take your time with it. Make sure you really think it out. At this point, if you don't have a photo that's professional enough that you feel confident in posting, that's fine. Just make sure that you go back to it, because there's nothing worse when trying to connect with someone and you just see this generic outline, right? People want to see, who are you and what makes you stand out. So, and this is the headline. You'll notice that we've got the most generic headline ever, saying student at the University of Southern California. It's really showing that you're one of 47,000 students that we're up to right now. Well, that might be, just basic. Think about what's going to make you stand out. For any of you who have LinkedIn accounts and you have those headlines or taglines that really will connect you, maybe you want to talk about your industry. Maybe you want to talk about something that you're proud of, but make sure that you can take that into consideration. You'll notice there's a couple examples like product marketing manager, or maybe you want to highlight your current internship role, maybe your extracurricular leadership position, whatever it might be that's going to help sell, who you are and what you do. Make sure you indicate that. And then also think about your location. This is the one that sometimes gives people a little bit of trouble because it needs to be your actual mailing city and state. So if you try to indicate a particular neighborhood, it's not going to come up, and it can be really frustrating. We get emails from people saying it doesn't recognize Chatsworth or some of these other neighborhoods, especially in Los Angeles. We've got so many unique neighborhoods, and while that's great and wonderful, for the purposes of this and finding connection, just put in Los Angeles. You're going to be much happier with that result. All right. Once we've done these basic ones, I promise there's just a few more. This is where we get to dive in a little bit deeper and think about your involvement. Again, really take it seriously in order to select this information. Just notice you don't have to worry about your schools because they're already going to be pulled from typing in your information from the system. But think about what extracurricular activities are you involved in? These would be your different student organizations. And whether you have a leadership role or not, please indicate that because on the platform, there is a way for you to connect with other students. So if you want to try to market the organization or meet others, the more information you put here, it's definitely going to be great. And then we've got some extra activities. These would be other different community groups. So maybe you're a first generation student, maybe you're a transfer, maybe you have military experience, whatever those extra, activities or affinity groups you would like to highlight, we encourage you to do so. We've also added residential communities. So I promise we're getting to the end of the profile, but once you've done that, the last piece that you're going to have to focus on is this professional responsibility agreement. And we remind you certainly to use, your best judgment with, these alums and other students. And please note that we do put in bold, we expect appropriate and professional engagement at all times. You're going to go ahead and, agree to that. And it's not used for personal purposes. Sometimes those who are very entrepreneurial think about sending messages in regards to their own business plans and sorts. That's not the purpose of this. That is not at all. So if for whatever reason we learn about it, we would have to, speak to you about it and move forward. But I know that everyone's going to keep it professional in nature. So go ahead, draw your signature. And then finally, we will launch here to the home screen. Just because I think it's a little bit more interactive, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually stop sharing this right now because I want to switch over from the PowerPoint specifically into the actual platform in live time. I think that it'll give you a better view of that. Oh, oops, that's not it. The wrong share screen of sorts. Let me go ahead and switch it over, and hopefully in a couple seconds it will pop up for you. So great, thank you, Malika. And what you will see then is the home screen. I'm going to go through all these different categories, but just to give you a better overview, on your home screen, it's going to start with this matching quiz. So if you're thinking, well, where do I begin? This is the best place to do so because as a student, you can then indicate your city, your extracurriculars, and what industry you want to pursue. So I know you might be thinking, I just filled out all those profile details. Why are they asking me again? We know sometimes things change, especially in this virtual place. Maybe you want to search for your permanent home versus school. Maybe you want to add some of your extracurricular activities. Whatever it may be, you can go through and identify those 3 criteria. And then once you hit submit, you're going to be able to identify 5 top alums based on that key information. And it's great because you can go ahead and get, a snapshot of what these recommended connections look like. Not only can you review their profile, if you click on a link, you can dive in deeper, but you can also bookmark it. So let's say you're about to go to class or you don't have a lot of free time, you can just bookmark it. So next time you go in, you can see who were your recent bookmarks. So it's saving you on the time there. If you want to message them, you can certainly click that. And here they've indicated how they're willing to help or what you might have in common based on your profile. It's a really great snapshot. Also on this initial home screen, it's going to show, well, who have you already made some connections with? So these are the individuals that you've had messages going back and forth, and it'll keep a running tally of that. Also, if you're like, okay, well, if it's not here, where else can I find that information? You'll see a full list of history under the envelope over here on the right side. So that's something that you do certainly have access to. And that's also where it's going to keep any sort of meetings and other logs of, maybe different tasks, whether you've been going through some goals or maybe getting some feedback in regards to your resume. That can also be listed here under the task session. There's also things about the different posts from the discussion board and resources, which I will go in later. But one of my favorite tabs, certainly the home screen is great to get you started, but my favorite tab is our networking tab. And this is slowly going to transition over. So bear with me as it comes up, slowly but surely. But what you will notice as this information becomes available, and hopefully it is live for everyone now too. Yes, great. So what you will notice is that it looks completely different from that home screen. So I'm going to walk you through. So what you will notice first is that these we've got a number of online users. So right now, at this particular moment, there are 177 individuals that are on the platform ready to connect. And you can see that not only from the green dot here, but also they have this chat now button. Certainly you could click that and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. But what's really nice is that you're able to see, okay, what's their position? Where are they located? And all that information is really right here at your fingertips. And not only is this the quick snapshot, but then you can also see, well, here are the people that I've connected to because of the industry that I've indicated or the communities that I've been involved in. And so it breaks it down in a number of different factors. So we've got that information. So going back to this, you might be thinking, great, well, there's, 8,000 users and 177. Like, I want to try to maybe filter this a little bit more. If you'd like to do a deeper dive, that's where this bar is going to be very helpful for you. You can do a general search. You wanted to maybe search by someone's, particular company they're working for. That's where you could do this information. That's where you could search it right here. You want to type in Google, run a search, that information will come up. If you want to try to see who are those people I bookmarked again, you've got that information, or those who I've messaged. But probably the three areas that you're going to do most of your searches, either by location, by major, and by industry. And if you're thinking, well, there's several industries, or maybe I'm thinking of checking out an industry I don't have a lot of interest in, or I don't have much knowledge in, when you click on industry, it's going to give you a specific drop down of all the particular industries that we've listed, but there's even a blank space. So if you want to try to type something that's not available, you can do so. It's a really great way. And if that's not enough for you to filter by, we have more filters. And one of my favorites is certainly this help topic. Even though on the student side, you had to fill out, 3 different screens for your profile and indicating all those details, believe me, on the alumni side, there's a lot more detail that goes into it. Not only do they have to complete academic information, but we also ask them, what is it you're willing to help with? What are those levels of expertise? And some of my favorites are applying for graduate school or professional school. What are the different career and industry trends? We also have networking and informational interviews, and then even taking advantage of time in school or transitioning to life after school. Certainly, there's a lot more that you can choose from. But if you're thinking, gosh, Lauren talked about a lot and what I need to talk about, but where do I even begin? Go through this, kind of create what would be your priority list of what you hope to get from the alums now versus, once you have these initial conversations, you can keep continuing to speak with them. And that conversation is going to get even more, rich with just ideas and content. So definitely these are a good starting point. But then you also might want to search for someone by a company. Notice you could certainly do that search with the general search button. But what I love about this one is it has, are they currently working there? Because we know that people transition. You might find that maybe someone had an internship at Amazon and then they went to Microsoft. And then guess what? Maybe they went to graduate school for something completely different and now they're a bathing company. You never know. So that's a great feature that's there. We also let students search by degree type. So as you're thinking about, well, this is my major, but I maybe want to do graduate school in a little bit different area, and you don't just want to be limited to the academic department, you can certainly do so. And then you can also then search for different clubs, communities, and residential communities as well. So there's a lot of different ways that you can search. But now you're thinking, okay, you've brought me to the platform, you've shown me all these people, where do I begin to dialogue? You'll notice that there's 2 different ways you can do so. If I were to click on this chat now, a new window is going to pop up and it's going to say, hi, blank. Do you have a minute to chat? I see that you're online. And that's all going to be filed under this envelope. However, let's say you find someone and you're like, ooh, well, they're not online because there's no green dot. And it just says, let's connect. What is that going to show me? Well, in this case, I want to try to talk to Ian because I'm from Seattle and I'd love to learn a little bit more about Tableau software. So when I click let's connect, this is where you're going to see the 3 different templates pop up. So not only is it going to give me a quick snapshot of Ian's, academic background and also what they've been doing professionally, I'm then going to be able to choose, do I want to select the networking advice template, the career exploration, or choosing a major? In this case, I want to do some basic, networking just to get started. And you will see that this template pops up. Notice that there is a little pop-up over here that'll give you little pointers throughout this process. So if I write hi, that's great, but I always tell students, let's not use hey. Hey is sometimes what you would send to your friend in a text message. It's what horses eat. It's not the same level of professionalism that you want to have. But in this case, it's nice because as you go through this, not only is it going to pop up and say, you know what, this is a little short. you only have 32 words, but it should be closer to 50. Or you might say, would you mind sharing your thoughts on networking? I need a job. And they're going to say, ooh, we've noticed you use the word job or internship. If you're looking for a job, don't ask for it. Certainly the hope is that you've developed that foundation. And then, if by chance the alum is able to say, well, you know what, so and so is hiring, I'd love to pass along your resume. That's one thing, but you don't go straight out and ask for it. But it's nice that those little pop-ups will help guide this. If you're an English writer and you're like, you know what, I don't need the template, simply delete it and start with a clean slate. You can do that as well. We just know that sometimes the hardest part is getting started. So this is going to give you a little bit help with that. So we've got that. You can also decide to request a meeting. Let's say you wanted to provide a basic overview and you certainly want to try to meet for a virtual conversation all through the platform. You can do that as well and hit send. So once you're done with that, I now want to go back to explore the rest of the community, and simply you're right back there. A couple more features I did want to highlight on this networking tab is that right now we're looking at the card view. It looks very professional, but again, we've got people from all over the world, and sometimes it's fun to see where are the Trojans located. That's why this is great for 24/7, because throughout the day, and even though it might turn into our evening, the rest of the world is waking up and it's great to see. This might take a little bit of time, but slowly but surely the numbers are starting to pop up. You'll notice you can certainly tell where Los Angeles is, right, with all the activity right now. But you'll see we've got another hub here in San Francisco and in Texas. And slowly but surely, this is going to come up, but just wanted to bring that to your attention. And as it comes up, I also wanted to let you know that you can set search alerts. So certainly we would encourage you to log onto this platform as regularly as you'd like, at least maybe a couple times a week to connect with different individuals. But if you set up this search alert, and the alert that I've created is once a month, I would love to see everyone in Los Angeles who's in education. That's what my academic background is in. And sometimes it's nice to get a quick little preview each month of who's been added to the platform and what are they doing. So feel free to do that. You can set up as many alerts as you want to. So it's something that we've seen great success with, and students have been able to certainly make the most of that. All right, so that's a quick overview now as far as for the alums. And if you're thinking, I still want a little bit of experience, I need to gain a little bit more insight in how to, just basically have conversations, professional conversations with my peers, where can I go about that? That's where this classmates feature is going to come in handy. And you're going to notice it's going to look, and let's give it a couple seconds, but it's going to look very similar to the network feature. However, you're going to notice that people are going to have a lot more of their extracurriculars. Maybe they're not going to have company information because maybe they're first year students who are looking for those internships. But what you'll notice is, not shockingly, we've got even more online users who are students, and it looks exactly the same in the sense of if you click the chat now, it would be the, do you have a minute to chat? I'd love to see that you're online. We certainly recognize that this is kind of that first step. You might decide to, become friends and connect through social media and share, other contact information, but this will at least put those in contact with one another, especially because there's not that in-person presence that's happening on campus. You can decide to also search by majors. And then that's where under the more filters, specifically for clubs, community, and USC residential communities are going to be so important to connect on. So definitely want you to share that. And the same thing happens with the search alerts as well as the card view versus map views. Great. Wonderful. So moving right along, as I mentioned, there are formal programs and there are informal programs. What I just spoke about through the networking tab, those are the very informal programs. Hi, nice to meet you. Hopefully that will continue to be a discussion that goes deeper and deeper with time. However, wanted to highlight some of the programs that are happening across the university. The one that is Maliga's in particular is our first generation mentor program. If any of you are first generation students and you're thinking I'm ready to join, it is an academic program, academic year program, meaning it did have an application deadline back in September and does go through April. So you've missed the 2021 program. However, the application will open back up in June of this year, and then we'll go from September 2021 until April 2022. So there's always still opportunities. But you'll notice that between Dornsife as well as Price, there are a number of programs. But it's great because, again, this is their own unique community, specific discussion board, resources. Malika does a great job in encouraging that engagement. And it makes it a little bit more uh, it creates a little bit different of a dynamic. So where this entire network is going to have a lot of opportunity because it's the entire community. This one is typically for our first generation students, so they can talk about things that those within that community, might be going through, and then they can speak with the alums who fit that profile as well. So it's a really great option. Definitely check it out, especially if you meet those qualifications. Just a couple more. Wanted to showcase also the discussion. If there are general topics you want to kind of cast a wider net out to individuals, this is where I would suggest either adding a topic or even responding to one. You'll notice that there's several that have come up. You can certainly decide to search by a keyword. You can see that these are constantly being updated. We try to make sure that anything that goes up to this discussion board is relevant for the greater population, just because if it's something that's more focused, we do vet what does go out here. So we want to make sure that it's professional in nature and that those can, really be relevant for all individuals. Next up, we also have the resources tab. These are some of my favorite USC resources, especially when we switched over to this virtual space. And so many of our resources before were talking about networking and how do you go from, starting that initial informational interview and building up, your contact list. What can you do to develop that great relationship? Now we've even taken it on to talking about virtual recruiting tips and how do you demystify networking and what does that now look like in this virtual space? So there's a lot of different articles and videos and different ways that'll help make this stand out for you. Next, we also have opportunities. So even though the focus is to try to network and conduct informational interviews, we also wanted to share a number of our different opportunities. If you look on the left, these are our jobs and internships that are on the Connect SC platform. Specifically, they're just pulling from that feed. So if you're on the platform networking, but you're kind of curious to get a snapshot of what that might look like, you can do the Explore Jobs. It's going to come up with quite the listing. You're going to be able to get a quick snapshot from this initial all jobs view. But if you were to select on it, it's going to give you a little bit more criteria. As an admin account, I don't have the apply button here. However, under the student accounts, you will be able to see that. And if you see something like Posted by Simplicity, that's the name of the vendor, but we do call it Connect SC. And you will see that all the information is here. Everything from the job description to any potential qualifications, and even a little bit more insight into the organization and their particular locations. There's over 1,400 jobs listed there now. It's literally updated daily. So as new information does come up, we want to make sure that you can take advantage of that. And all the deadlines have been listed accordingly. If you want to try to filter by different options, you have that ability to do so. But then the other opportunities that were noted were these experiential learning projects. Where these are different, these are typically short-term internships, kind of seen as a micro internship, if you've heard of that terminology, and they're posted by alums. So they're alums that are found within the network that just want to maybe give a little bit more of a priority to our Trojans and what that might look like. So there's something within that. And then we have this share button as well. Specifically under the share, that's if you want to share your experience either on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, send an email. It's all information that might be there. All right, I've been doing a lot of talking and I've seen that the chat has been busy. So with different things coming out with it. I want to now go back to the home screen. All right, I'll go to the networking screen just because I think it's my favorite. I'm not going to shy away from that. It's definitely my favorite there. But a few other things here on this platform, what you'll notice if there's any question that comes up or something that, maybe there's something tech-wise you're not sure of, there is the support key that is located right here up on the top right. Also, if there's any new alerts, maybe you got a new message, any sort of notification that comes in, that would then have a little number associated with it. You've got your envelope for any of those messages going back and forth. And then under yourself, this is where you can update your profile at any time. A lot of times we hear from students, my major's changed, I want to add a minor, I want to add new extracurriculars, I'm in a different housing unit, anything like that, you can go into your profile and change that at any time. feel free to do so. Under your documents, maybe you've got an updated resume and you want to make sure that it's accessible for that next alum mentor that you're going to meet. It's there. If you signed up for any different events or meetings with the alums, all that information is available there as well. And it's all literally right here at your fingertips. So, what I really just want to try to reiterate is it's very important that when you create your profile or if you go back and edit it, you want to be very, very intentional because all of these feeds that happen, whether it's by communities or industry group, they are going to be specific to what you've indicated. So at any point in time, if you think of another industry or you want to try to, maybe gain a little bit more insight into a particular field, update that. Really take advantage of that matching quiz on the home screen the very first time you log in, because as a student, this is the matching quiz where it's going to give you those top 5 alums based on your city, your extracurriculars, and your industry. Know that when you transition from a student to an alum, as alums, you don't have access to that matching quiz. At that point, the thought is you know how to navigate the platform, you know how to do your different searches, so you can't take advantage of that feature. So certainly do so while you are a student. Make sure that you engage with those alums who are online, especially for those of you who are really excited to just dive right in and to get some information about your particular career or industry. If you see that Steve's online and here, say chat now. What's the worst they're going to tell you? You know what? I'm about to jump into a meeting or I'm going to need to, wait until a later time. That's fine. You at least got that response back. I know sometimes students think too, oh, well, how long is too long before I follow up? If you haven't heard from someone in, let's say 5 to 7 days, about a week, follow back up. I know this is a very busy time. I know, you might not necessarily be able to give me an hour of your time, but what about 10 to 15 minutes? Just a short length of time to ask you some quick questions as I'm applying for maybe a particular summer internship or anything like that. I would encourage you all to participate in this discussion board. I'm really impressed with the way that Malika has handled her discussion board for her first generation mentor program community. I think sometimes the tendency is, oh, when we're a smaller knit group, it's easier to engage in those dialogues, but there's no reason why they can't happen at the larger platform level. There's so much great work that's, being conducted. And there's alums who will go on this platform daily just to try to connect with people. They know that if they're seen as available and online, they want to help out. They want to be able, to make a difference, to have that impact on the student. So let them, really help you out in whatever way they can. Because something that I always tell students is in an informational interview, it's not just what you're doing in that, back and forth, but I always recommend to say, well, I really appreciate this conversation, but is there anyone else that you would want to, recommend that I speak to? Do you have other contacts? Do you have, someone else that maybe would be a good person for me to learn a little bit more about their experience? Because then that opens the door. This is all about gaining a little bit more insight, being able to put yourself in touch with someone else. So, and certainly the last but not least, we want you to share this experience, not only sharing it with your classmates so they can get involved and meet with other USC students, but to network with USC alums. The Trojan family is such a strong network. It's extremely powerful. And the reason why is because time and time again, people are willing to engage with one another. I know that sometimes people think, oh, these individuals are paid for this. They're really not. This is their way to volunteer, to give back, and to really help this Trojan family. So I hope you will engage with these alums through the platform and develop these professional experiences. We certainly do appreciate the time that you've taken in learning about this. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and stop sharing the screen just because I know that there might be some questions, or as people are navigating it on their own, they might want to pose those questions out there. So thank you, Malika, for assisting with the chat and the Q&A. And I see that
We have a question.
great timing. If we schedule something in here like a meeting or event, would it be possible to connect it with our Google Calendar? I know that it's not difficult to input it manually, but I was just wondering about how it's connected with this website, was with a third-party app like Zoom or Google Calendar. So what'll happen is you will get a notification saying you've set up a meeting, and then you are going to have to input it. There isn't a specific way to connect it. I know that we would love that, but I can tell you that with this platform, there is an app coming soon. And with the app, there's going to be a lot more kind of streamlined processes that are going to happen. And so soon, 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 soon. It's the question I always ask because I know students would love to be able to utilize this platform within their phones and tablets. Right now, it's really best to do it from a computer just so that you can, see it on the larger screen. But it is definitely something that it does require that extra step. I know it's not as convenient, but we're certainly looking at ways to enhance that. Great question. Are there others? What I will do, maybe because there's been long pauses and such, I will say, thank you again, Trojans, and fight on. I'll go ahead and stop the recording.